3 chances to win $1,000 between 11 p.m. and midnight. Big wins every weekend. No waiting for one grand prize night. See how far your luck can take you at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterpark.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Eagles are acquiring quarterback Andy Dalton from the Carolina Panthers for a 2027 7th-round draft pick. The Indianapolis Colts are signing receiver Nick Westbrook-Akine and linebacker Akeem Davis-Gaither. Former Dallas Cowboys and Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson is retiring from the NFL after 7 seasons. NBA ESPN reports the Milwaukee Bucks want to shut Giannis Antetokounmpo down for the rest of the season because of his hyperextended knee, but that Antetokounmpo's refused and wants to play again this season. College hoops, the first 4 continues at 6:40 Eastern. Lehigh taking on Prairie View A&M at 9:15 Eastern. It's 31-1 Miami of Ohio opposing SMU. Louisville freshman guard Mikel Brown Jr. will not play in Thursday's NCAA tournament opener against South Florida because of a back injury. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We're ready to go on a Wednesday. It's South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. How are you doing? It's warming up a little bit. It's always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. Glad you're here. Fun show tonight. We'll be off tomorrow for state basketball coverage, and I'm actually going to discuss that a little bit as we get going tonight. It is the Nate Brown Show. Welcome in. Fox Sports Radio affiliates across South Dakota here on Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Glad you're a part of the program. Let's look at the guest lineup. We'll get popping. Remember, you can stream this show right now on X at Nate Brown Show. Watch us live. Stream us there on X at Nate Brown Show. YouTube channel is up. It is The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. You've got every show archived and live. The Nate Brown Show YouTube. If you're a YouTube guy, you've got us. Subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate that. Give us some thumbs up, all that good stuff. And Midwest Sports Plus right now live on the new high school sports streaming app. I saw they're doing some state tournament coverage. How about that? Boy, okay, Midwest Sports Plus, the Nate Brown Show live there on the new high school sports app, Midwest Sports Plus. Welcome in. Speaking of Midwest Sports Plus, I got one of their play-by-play guys, former TV guy, Zach Borg. He's going to join us tonight. We're going to preview a lot of the state basketball tournaments. By the way, I'm going to make my picks tonight. I am going to make my picks tonight. You know how we do this in football. Well, we're going to do this in basketball, and I'm going to break this thing down, okay? So state AA, A, and B. Boys, I'm going to make some picks. I know AA, I know A. I'm going to guess on B, so take it for what it's worth, okay? I'm admitting to you, I'm going to guess on the greatest tournament in the state. I'm going to guess on B. That's coming up. Zach Borg, we'll see what he says about the lineup in all the state tournaments, which start tomorrow. Okay, Kerry Miller's in. One more bracketologist for you tonight. Kerry Miller's with Bleacher Report, college basketball analyst. He's going to break down some games. I want to get his read on a lot of the big games. I'm going to see if I can get his Final Four. I can't quite get that from anybody yet. We'll see where Kerry's at. Bleacher Report, national college basketball analyst on tap. Huskers play, getting set for tomorrow. You guys ready? Early game, Huskers, Troy. Jake Sorensen's in Oklahoma City. He's with 93.7 The Ticket out of Lincoln. He is live as he arrives in Oklahoma City tonight. We'll talk Husker hoops with Jake Sorensen and go to Denver. What's the reaction from the Broncos getting Jalen Waddle? Longtime columnist for the Denver Post. His name's Sean Keeler. Gives us a read on the Denver pulse of the Broncos bringing in Waddle. I like it. You know that. I said that yesterday. Sean Keeler's on from the Denver Post tonight. All right, we're ready to go. Let's get you on and be a part of the conversation. 605-720-1067. That's our number. 605-720-1067. Join us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch, our great partners. Two great locations for you, East River, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Stop by the Pizza Ranch. Also in Brandon, outstanding Fun Zone arcades for the kids. Bring the whole family. It's home of everyone's favorite buffet. You know that. Best buffet in town. The Pizza Ranch. Barron's Wilson text line's open for you as well, 605-720-1067. Hit us on the text line, 605-720-1067. You've got the numbers now. That's the Barron's Wilson listener text line. Okay, so this is interesting here. I'm going to get into my high school basketball picks. I'm just going to have a little fun with this. Who's going to win AA, A, and B? I've been looking at the teams, breaking it down. This is tough. It's going to be fun tournaments starting tomorrow, so I'm going to get into that. But hang on. I saw my friend Craig Maddock just post something this morning. You know Craig, right? You know Craig Maddock, longtime South Dakota broadcaster. He's done 26 years now of state tournament coverage. 26 years. We had Craig on yesterday. He didn't mention this yesterday, so I'm going to mention it tonight. This is just something interesting in our world today. How our coverage of sports has changed, and I wonder where you're at on this in South Dakota. So I appreciate you guys listening to the Nate Brown Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Now, here's what Craig Maddock said about coverage on the radio. Craig Maddock just said, this is a sad deal. There is not one Sioux Falls radio station covering the state AA tournament. And I kind of paused at that this morning, and I thought, man, I've been in this game quite a while. Not as long as Craig, but I've been in this game a long time. There used to be times where you'd go to state tournaments, and it was lined up of broadcasters. I mean, I'd be in the rafters at the arena, the Sioux Falls Arena. I'd be in the rafters. There was radio stations all over the place. And it was good stuff, man. Play-by-play, some great announcers and coverage of the state basketball tournament. So what am I getting at? What's Craig getting at? It's just two old guys yelling, get off our lawn. Well, hang on. He said, this is a sad day. Not one Sioux Falls radio station is covering state basketball. And so I started thinking about this, and I said, I understand our world of sports and media and social media and streaming. I mean, the whole thing is changing. Whether you're talking coverage of South Dakota high school sports or not, the whole media atmosphere and landscape has changed. I get it. And that's why I just told you guys, I appreciate you listening to the show on the radio. This is a radio show. However, you hear me when I say, where else can you listen to this? Where else can you watch this? We got to do all that stuff. We're on social media. We're on an app. We're on YouTube. And we're on Fox Sports Radio as you're driving in your car. So I understand the deal. It's not like you just can't adapt. You have to change. You have to be willing to make some investments and put some energy into streaming and new things and do that. I understand that, but I'm going to ask you this question. I do think Craig Maddox said this is sad. Not one Sioux Falls radio station's covering the state tournament. Not one. And when I think about the market of Sioux Falls, I've discussed this over the past year. The Argus Leader had a heck of a time finding a sports writer. They went months and months with no sports writer at the Argus Leader, a proud organization, an unbelievable sports department over the years. And they went months without a sports writer. Now they got a guy. He's been covering the state tournament, so that's good stuff. But I just thought about the overall media landscape. Not only is there not a radio station covering these teams, look at all these teams from Sioux Falls Metro in the state tournament. You got a bunch of teams, no coverage. Guess what happened last week? Girls basketball dominated by Sioux Falls Metro, no coverage at all. And you say, well, it's on SDPB. I understand. I've been here a long time. When I was covering games, those were also on SDPB. It's been on SDPB for a long time now, guys. But radio stations, I believe, have taken this attitude. Some of the big companies, like even the Argus Leader side of this, that's a huge company, right? They've taken the attitude, well, I don't know if that's where people are at. I don't know if we want to keep investing in that. I don't know if we want to have play-by-play of a state basketball tournament. And I find that hard to believe. So I'm telling you, tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock Central, you're going to have Sioux Falls Lincoln taking on T. And you can't tell me that you're driving around Sioux Falls tomorrow and you wouldn't want to listen to updates on that game, to some play-by-play on that game. Well, I can get it on streaming on SDPB. Yes, you can. By the way, you shouldn't be watching the video. You should be watching the road. I'm just telling you, the radio coverage is still valuable to me, and I think to consumers. I don't know if some companies get that. They've stepped back, and they've allowed video and streaming to take that spot, and now you end up with no coverage of a AA girls basketball tournament, 0. And no coverage of a AA boys basketball tournament, 0. In a market like Sioux Falls, I think it's absolutely bonkers. I think that is bonkers. Let me ask you this question. Maybe it's just me as a radio guy. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and Craig. We've done this. We've been there, done that, play-by-play. That's how we got our start. That's what we've done, the whole thing. I still think there's interest and there's value. You got afternoon games, and I understand you're going to stream stuff at night. I understand the radio listening audience is mainly car. That's mainly on the move, but that's what that's always been. Radio reaches over 90% of audio listeners today. 90%. I get it. Podcasts and all that stuff's popular. Radio still reaches over 90% of audio listeners, and that's you guys right now listening. And Sioux Falls Lincoln, number 1 seed, taking on T, first game of the AA tournament. You would have numerous stations in the past covering that, at least a couple from Sioux Falls, and you'd have numerous reporters. And now the video and the streaming steps in. I guess it is what it is, but I still think the radio has value. I'll ask you that question of the day as we get going tonight. You're listening to the radio right now, so maybe you're a little biased. We'll see. And I watch the video as well. I understand. I do watch video, but I listen to radio play-by-play still as I'm on the move. I'm taking kids here. I'm going to a practice. I want to check in on games. I think that's where the radio has fit. It meets you where you're at. You don't have to pull up your phone at video and try and watch something as you're driving or dropping somebody off or doing whatever. And by the way, if you're a really good radio play-by-play guy, you're painting the picture, and it's an unbelievable art form, describing the action and the passion and the atmosphere. That's a lost art form, I understand, but it kind of reminds me of our national scene right now, by the way. What's happening nationally? We all thought streaming was cool. It's the best. That's the way to go. It's going to be cheaper. It's just stream stuff. Don't pay for cable. Don't pay for TV. Just stream stuff. And then all of a sudden you want to watch a game that should be on broadcast TV, and you got to find another new streaming service that you got to pay $10 a month for. I'm telling you, that's exactly the scenario. We take it for granted. Well, games will always be on the radio, play-by-play, state tournament. There was no radio coverage of the state AA girls tournament, East River and Sioux Falls in the Metro. And the Metro teams were dominant, absolutely dominant. And there's no radio coverage of the boys tournament starting tomorrow. And there's Metro teams that are right there again. And I'm asking you this question. Do you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play of South Dakota high school basketball? I'm throwing it out to the audience tonight. Question of the day on the Nate Brown Show as we get going. I'm going to make my state tournament picks, by the way. I'm going to break it down. Yes, I'm going to go through the brackets a little bit, not game by game, but I'm going to take you into Saturday night championship night. That's coming up. But question of the day on the Nate Brown Show, if you would, 605-720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line. If you answer our question of the day, could serve you a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch. Our partners at the Pizza Ranch give us a buffet a day. We set you up with that. Enjoy the Pizza Ranch on us just for answering the question of the day. Do you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play of South Dakota high school basketball? That's what I'd like to know. You're going to get no radio play-by-play, and this might be the first time in quite some time. I can't remember last year totally, but there was some radio play-by-play at least last year. I think this is the first time that I can remember out of a Sioux Falls Metro that you wouldn't have the play-by-play, and video and streaming has stepped in. Do you have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play? I believe it's still valuable. I still believe that companies can give the public some great service on that. And if radio companies stepped in, they say, hey, there's some radio stations that have just done their own video stream with their play-by-play. That's all good. That's investing. That's keeping up with the times. That's kind of what we tried doing with this show. It's not just on the radio. It's on your phone. It's on streaming. It's all of that. You got to do that. But I still think you got to have some play-by-play out of a metro area with high school basketball teams in a state tournament. I believe that, and I think it's valuable. What say you? Let's see some of the answers coming in. What does the poll result look like tonight? Let's see. Dennis responding, listening to football and basketball games on the radio is truly becoming a lost art. Describing a game for people who aren't there and giving them a description as if they were is priceless. I love it. Listener reaction from Lynn. I listen to games on the radio often. So many good guys doing play-by-play in our state. Well, there is. I mean, it's not all areas that have lost this. I mean, my station, I'm a media owner. My station is covering state tournament basketball, and we always will. We've gone across the state and covered games. We've gone to the Dome Championships. Yes, even though they're on SDPB, you just have to do that because I think you're missing an opportunity if you don't. No Sioux Falls radio play-by-play of the state basketball tournaments coming up. Do you still have an interest in listening on the radio to high school basketball games? 61% responding yes. I listen when I'm in the car. 39% say no, I just go to the video stream now. So that's interesting to me. 61%, that's a pretty good number. You tell me tonight on the text line. Listener text coming in. I listen to the Vikings with Paul Allen. Can be every bit as good as watching on TV. All right. Yeah, I like that. I agree with that. You get your favorite announcer. I got Dave Logan with the Broncos, so you're a Paul Allen guy with the Vikes for sure. Right here, KWSN. I mean, you got great coverage. Paul Allen, the voice of the Vikes, you're dialed in on that. I'm a Dave Logan guy, Broncos Network, and he's been outstanding. I mean, you can't get much better. I get it. We get our own favorite announcers, but Dave Logan's one of the all-time great. And yes, I'd rather listen to Dave Logan on play-by-play sometimes than watch the TV broadcast. Honestly. So if you got the goods, you got the goods. Listener text, I have no internet, just rabbit ears for my TV when I'm at the lake, so I'm on the radio all the time listening to the Jackrabbits and the Coyotes. All right. Listener text, I love it. Turn the lights out and listen to a great play-by-play guy paint a picture. Well, that's good. I mean, I think it's there. I don't know what to tell you about the category we've entered, meaning you've got Sioux Falls schools that are going to be in state basketball tournaments in no play-by-play, only video streaming SDPB. I think there's a miss there, and I think it just tells us kind of where our culture's gone, and that's why I mentioned the national streaming stuff. We take for granted, hey, everything's going to be here. I'm just going to be able to turn it on. And, well, no, you got to stream this now. I mean, Major League Baseball's opening game is only going to be on streaming. Major League Baseball's opening day. That's opening day. We're just used to turning that thing on. It's opening day, opening afternoon. That's next Wednesday. It's the opening game. It's only going to be on Netflix, right? I think that's the one. Yankees, going to be on Netflix. Isn't that nice? Let's see. Listener text. Dave Logan with the Broncos, so good, and it's fun listening to games broadcast by him. Yeah. Let's see. Listener text. Nate, do you know any sports radio shows that should be broadcasting the AA games? Well, hey, I can't do it all. I've been there, done that. My station covers state tournament. I just want you to know that. Okay? I have a good crew that covers state basketball. We'll be on the games tomorrow. We've been on the games all season long. But it is one of those things. Craig Maddox said today, it's sad, not one Sioux Falls radio station covered AA girls or the boys starting tomorrow. And I think that's the first time that I can remember. Let's see. One more. Nate, did radio for a few years for O'Gorman. It's disappointing there's no radio coverage. Yeah, and here's the thing. I was at all these state tournaments over the years. Honestly, I met so many good guys, and stations were lined up. O'Gorman had like their own broadcasters. You just had some great broadcasters that did some play-by-play, and the investment was there. The interest is still there. 61% on my poll. That's on Twitter. Say, I want to listen to games of South Dakota high school basketball in the car. And so, yeah, like tomorrow afternoon, of course you'd want to listen to the car. I mean, you're working, you're going around, going to lunch, going to meetings, whatever it is. You're not going to watch all games on SDPB. I mean, you're just not going to do that. So 61% on Twitter say they'd like to listen to South Dakota high school basketball on the radio. 39% say, I just go to the video stream. It's interesting. I'm going to make my picks for the basketball tournaments coming up tomorrow, AA, A, and B. I'm going to make my picks into championship night. That's coming up. First, let's get some picks. Last day to fill out your bracket. Kerry Miller is on. He's the national college basketball analyst for Bleacher Report, and he's live coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
When you win the new Millionaire for Life daily draw game from the South Dakota Lottery, you don't just win $1 million a year for the rest of your life. You win the chance to do whatever you want, like bring a hot dog cannon to a wedding reception. But just because you could, doesn't mean you should. What would you do if you became a millionaire for life, playing Millionaire for Life from the South Dakota Lottery?
Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 45. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, 79. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, 48. Lots of sunshine and dry Friday and Saturday, upper 70s. Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 73 degrees.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome in. Getting going on a Wednesday night on your drive home on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. The Nate Brown Show live, KWSN Sioux Falls. Glad you're here. Fox Sports Rapid City. Packed lineup tonight. We'll talk Husker hoops coming up live from Oklahoma City. Jake Sorensen's in. He's there covering the Huskers for 93.7 The Ticket out of Lincoln. Huskers in Troy coming up. Zach Borg's on tonight. We'll break down state basketball. State boys start tomorrow. Zach Borg with Midwest Sports Plus on tap. Go to Denver as well. Sean Keeler, columnist for the Denver Post, just wrote a big piece on the Broncos getting Jalen Waddle and what it means. Sean Keeler's in Denver Post on tap tonight. Packed show. Hey, we've got him before the tournament really gets going. Kerry Miller, college basketball analyst, Bleacher Report. He's on X at Terrence James. Kerry, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm ready to get the real first day going tomorrow.
I like it. I want to get into this tournament, but I just watched Greg Gard at Wisconsin. I just watched his presser just before the show, and it was interesting. I'd never really heard this talked about, but you're a college basketball guy, so maybe you have. They asked him, would you support expanding the tournament? Well, that's one thing. He said yes. So Wisconsin's head coach said, yes, expand the tournament. How does that look, though? And then it was this. Would you play series instead of one game, starting with the Sweet 16? And he said, I think we could look at that. Have you heard that talked about? They were talking about a 3-game series for the Sweet 16 and down to the national championship, a 5-game series. What do you say about that?
I mean, that would be a lot for sure. I've talked before about I wish we would go towards like a World Cup or the World Baseball Classic or whatever, where you're in these pods, right? So if you look at the Texas Tech, Akron, Alabama, and Hofstra, you go to I don't even remember where where that one's at, Portland or San Diego or something. But you go there and you're guaranteed 3 games, and whoever does the best on, if somebody goes 3-0 or whoever goes 2-1, the margin, whatever the tiebreaker is, that team advances to the Sweet 16. And I think you would get more fans traveling for that than the possibility of being gone in 2 hours. But I don't know. I've heard that before about possibly going to series. I don't think the NCAA has any desire for that. I think they'll expand the field to 76 long before they actually expand the tournament in that regard. But I don't know. I don't think I like it, but there have been other things that have changed that I didn't think I would like, and I guess I'm okay with now.
I love college basketball, and people love the tournament, Gary, and I think we're used to, hey, one bad game and you're out, and that's what makes it so intriguing. So like a Final Four best-of-3 series, this would seem so odd to me.
Yeah, I think you would think it would be, a good money grab because it's more games, right? But I think you'd lose interest from a lot of people. That would just be so many games, man. I don't even know how they would logistically do it.
Yeah. Kerry Miller on tonight. That was interesting. That was Wisconsin's head coach this afternoon saying, we're the only sport that does this one-time thing, and if you have a bad 10 minutes, you go home. So I think some coaches would say, hey, we need another shot. Okay, let's get into some of these regions as people fill out their bracket and get your read here. I'm going to start with Nebraska because a lot of Husker fans want to know, can they get their first win of their history in the tournament? The matchup against Troy looks like what to you?
I mean, it depends on which Nebraska shows up. I mean, the Nebraska that started out 20-0, if that team shows up, Troy loses by 40. But that has not been Nebraska as of late. They've been held to 52 points twice, 57 points once in the last 7 or 8 games, and I worry that I don't think Troy is that good. I think they are the worst of the 13 seeds. Certainly, Ken Palm agrees with that. They're 50 spots behind any other 13 seed. I was surprised they even landed on that line, but I think if Nebraska beats itself by just not shooting threes like it used to, then we could have we didn't have any 13-over-4 upsets last year, but we could have one, 2 hours into the first round of the tournament.
Yeah. I think Nebraska, as you said, they've played well, and then here as of late, they've looked definitely beatable. So I'm going to grab some of these teams and ask you if this is upset alert or not.
Okay.
Can you give me UCF and UCLA? Is that a real game?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Donovan Dent and or Tyler Bilodeau, both of whom got hurt in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, they're supposed to play, but we'll see, if they're at 100%. UCLA lost to Cal earlier this season when Bilodeau was out and Dent was clearly not at 100%. So they could definitely lose to UCF if they're not operating at full strength. But if the UCLA that we saw over the last 3 weeks shows up, I mean, they could beat UCF and UConn.
How about Akron, Texas Tech, a 12-5?
Yes, I like that one. I think Texas Tech is really limping to the finish line. You've seen them really struggle in the second halves of games lately. I think they're just gassed. And I think Akron's playing with a chip on its shoulder.
Santa Clara, Kentucky's a popular one.
Yeah, I get that. I think all three of us picked in our experts pick. I think we got Santa Clara going over Kentucky. I don't know if it's so much belief in Santa Clara as it is just not belief in Kentucky. But I think Alan Graves could be the guy in that game for the Broncos.
Are there a couple that you've circled that I haven't mentioned? 11-over-6, something like that.
I think aside from Tennessee, I don't trust any of the sixes because they're all dealing with a major injury. BYU's without Richie Saunders. They haven't been the same. North Carolina doesn't look the same without Caleb Wilson, and we just found out today that for sure that Mike L. Brown will not be playing for Louisville. And I think all of those 11 seeds are, no offense to SMU, Miami, Ohio, whoever comes out of that game tonight, that is the weakest of the 11 seeds. That's who Tennessee draws. I think Texas, VCU, and South Florida could all pull off those upsets tomorrow.
Okay, so you've got your eyes on the 11s over the 6s. Kerry Miller's on tonight, Bleacher Report, college basketball analyst, breaking down the brackets. So people want to know if it's one seeds all the way. How does your deep into the bracket look into the Final Four?
Yeah, I think we'll get a little more upsets early on this year. I think we'll see at least one, 13 or maybe even a 14 pulling off an upset. I don't know which one, but I think we'll see that. But I do think in the end, like the Elite Eight is going to be like, 1-2, 1-2, 1-3, 1-3, something like that. I don't see any of the ones going down immediately, but now that Duke is, Youngba's not playing tomorrow, and we'll see if he's playing in the second round. They're not going to have Caleb Foster, so Ohio State, TCU, that's going to be tough either way. Michigan hasn't looked the same without L.J. Kaysen. So I think those top three teams, if they were at full strength, they would be instantly into the Final Four, that being Duke, Michigan, and Arizona. But if you want to pick Duke or Michigan to go out before that, I could see it because their ceilings are not as high right now.
Who's the best team going into this tournament, do you believe?
I think it's Arizona. And I don't even think it's all that close at this point with the injuries I just mentioned to the other two teams. I think Florida's, even though they lost to Vanderbilt and it got a little bit out of hand, I mean, Florida's been red hot for 2 months at this point. You can make the argument that they're right there with Arizona, but I think the Wildcats have been the best team all season long, frankly, and I'm surprised they aren't the betting favorite.
Who do you have coming out of that East Regional? You said, well, Duke, you're not sure. They're good, but they got some injuries. You got UConn there. You got Michigan State there. Who comes out of there for you?
Yeah, I'm still taking Duke to the Final Four, but I get the reasoning if anybody's not picking them. Like, if they were healthy, I don't think there's any question they would come out of that region, or at least they should. But that is a loaded region. Every year people say, oh, Duke got the easy region. That's not the case this year. Oh, my goodness. Even, UConn at the 2, Michigan State, Kansas, St. John's, UCLA, the way they've been playing as the 7. I mean, that's a tough region. So we'll see. But if Youngba plays in the second round and beyond, I think I like their chances.
Can Purdue stay hot here? They had some losses midway through. Now they win the Big Ten. They get all the way up to a 2 seed. Can they get back in it? Because a lot of people thought that was the team at the start of the year.
Yeah, people thought it was the team at the start of the year, and then people thought they were like the clear team to pick against heading into the Big Ten tournament because they had lost, I believe, 7 of their last 13 games, and then they get hot for, they didn't even really get hot. I think the teams they were facing just all of a sudden stopped making shots because their defense had been terrible down the stretch, and then they started holding teams to 70 and below in the Big Ten tournament. I don't even understand how they did that. But I think if there's any 2 or 3 seed that goes down, I do still think it's probably Purdue. I don't really believe in Queens. I think it's more so I don't believe in Purdue. But I think I also wouldn't be surprised if they go on a deep run because they were supposed to be the best team at the start of the season, and they are loaded with seniors. If Fletcher Lawyer's shooting well, if Trey Kaufman-Renn is doing his usual thing, they're going to be such a tough team to beat because they do lead the nation in offensive efficiency.
Some good games on the docket starting tomorrow, and we got the first 4 tonight. One to watch, Miami, Ohio, SMU. Who wins that tonight?
I'm picking Miami, Ohio. I know it is an upset. I don't know what the spread is. I know on KenPom, I think SMU is like a 7-point favorite. I don't know what it ended up officially, but I think Miami, Ohio is honestly the better team. It's just that the metrics never really bought into them because they weren't playing anybody and they played some close games. But SMU has got a B.J. Edwards, their best perimeter defender. He's questionable, or maybe he's not even playing at this point. I haven't seen anything lately, but if he's not fully available to them, I think the Red Hawks probably take it.
All right, Kerry Miller, he's on it, covering it for the Bleacher Report, college basketball analyst. Kerry, always appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
You got it. Take care, Nate.
Appreciate it. Kerry Miller on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. Good to have him. Bleacher Report National College Basketball Analyst. It didn't sound like he's buying Purdue much. Sounds like he's all in on Arizona. He says Arizona's the best team coming into the tournament. So let's see what we think about the Huskers. So I haven't filled out my bracket yet. We do that tonight. It's the Brown family bracket night. And it's going to be interesting. I have a pretty good sense. I have a pretty good feel this year. And I know I'm going to win my family bracket challenge. I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby. But we're going to get after it with Jake Sorensen. What does he say about his Huskers? He's a Nebraska alum searching for that first tournament win. We don't want to jinx him, right? Nebraska and Troy. Jake Sorensen's with 93.7 The Ticket. He's in Oklahoma City, and he joins us live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Andersen. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
So streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, your sports, your show, the Nate Brown Show on tonight across the state. It's always a great day in South Dakota, starting to warm up a little bit. We'll take that. We'll take that across the state. Fox Sports Radio, we're live. KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. I'll make my state boys basketball picks here coming up. I've been watching games, been looking at these teams. Going to make some picks into championship night Saturday. Coming up, South Dakota State boys basketball. Let's go to Oklahoma City. He's going to be there live as the Huskers take on Troy to kick off the tournament. Oklahoma City, Jake Sorensen, 93.7 the ticket. He's on in the morning, man, early break. Jake, welcome in. How are you?
I'm all right, Nate. Just trying to navigate through Oklahoma City as we speak right now.
Okay, careful. Let's keep your head on a swivel. What do you think, OKC? Have you been to OKC?
I was actually here 6 years ago for my bachelor party. I've not been back since then. That was interesting times in COVID. Have not yet been down to Bricktown yet, kind of navigating the area. So I'm looking forward to seeing it the next couple of days.
Okay, you guys are going to be broadcasting live, getting set for this debut of the Huskers. Nebraska 26-6, a 4 seed. Do you think the tournament got it right, the committee as a 4 seed? Start there.
Well, I think so. I mean, it goes off of your whole season resume. So Nebraska 26-6, yeah, they were 20-0, and they're 6-6 in previous 12 games, which is not great, but it's a season totality, and Nebraska still has no bad losses. They, got beat badly by UCLA and Purdue in recent games, which is unfortunate, but they still are a team that right now is pretty healthy. I think they have a good mindset coming in, and they have the way of the world. They're trying to get this first ever win for the program in the dance, and if you're a 4 seed, you better do it. It's a good time to do it right now against Troy.
I want to ask you about this. You said way to the world. I do want to know how much of that plays in, do you think, to the Husker mindset, meaning everybody's got the pressure, everybody talks about that. That can't be a good thing.
I don't think so. I mean, it is going to be a lot of pressure, you're right. I mean, I don't think it's a good thing either. But both teams have never won in a game to dance, and I think ever since you had the great start at 20-0, it's been all about, hey, we gotta get this monkey off our back. And unfortunately, that's a lot of pressure, as you said. But this team has good senior leadership with Sam Hoiberg and Rick Mast and Jamarcus Lawrence. And if Jamarcus can play better than he has last month or so, this team can make a run in the dance. And if not, they could be an unfortunate first-round exit. But I think the fan base is confident. I think the team is confident. But as you know, when it comes to March Madness, anything can happen. We've seen 16 seeds beat 1 seed twice. We've seen a lot of 15 seeds advance, including St. Peter's to the Elite 8 just 4 years ago. So whatever you think you know, you don't always know in March. And I think that's our biggest concern and fear right now.
Jake Sorensen's on tonight. He's going to be broadcasting live at Oklahoma City, side of the Huskers, as they get the tournament started against Troy, 4 seed against a 13. Troy won the Sun Belt, so they won their conference season, regular season, and tournament. So I'm sitting here going, well, they must not be bad. I haven't broken them down. What have you seen? What do you see from Troy?
Well, they're a team that has some bigs. I mean, it's not like it's Big Ten big. They don't have a 7-footer like a lot of teams have, but they have several guys in that 6'7" to 6'9" range. And we talked to a guy this morning on the air that said they're pretty physical. And I guess your question would be, what is Sun Belt physical versus Big Ten physical? Is it similar or not? So that's a question we'll have to see when the game is played tomorrow. But I think that if you are a Nebraska fan and concerned about physicality that Troy thinks you should, I don't think that's something that should be overly concerning, since pretty much every team in our conference is physical, and I would think there's more talent here than the Sun Belt, but maybe that's just me.
You're a Nebraska alum, so you're all in here, Jake. What's the feeling like in Lincoln over the past week here, getting ready for the tournament?
Excited and nervous. It's both things. I mean, everything's out for you. If you win this game, you can certainly claim this is the best team in the history of Nebraska. Right now, it's probably a competition between the 1990-91 team for that honor. But both teams, that team did not win a game in the dance. They were a 3 seed and lost to a 14 seed Xavier back then. So if they win, it's just like, well, all this excitement from winning the crown last year to starting off 20-0 is going to be validated, and it's just going to be a big sigh of relief, and hopefully they can go on with less pressure, knowing they got the monkey off their back and go beat Vanderbilt or McNeese and advance to the Sweet 16, something we've obviously never seen before.
Okay, I want to know, it feels like, we just have to get this one win, but then I'm like, well, if you get the one win, maybe this team's good enough to maybe win a little bit more. Is there this thought of, we just need to get this one win? Is that good enough for the fans?
I think it is, yeah. I mean, again, right now, it's like, obviously you want to advance and go as far as you can, but we would classify this as a very successful season if Nebraska simply beats Troy. And again, that on your schedule should be one of the easier teams you've played for the last 3 months. And it's a game you should win. I think Nebraska is right now a 12.5-point favorites, open 13.5, so it stayed consistently there. I think that's pretty high for a game like this. But I know they're bringing back one of their guys who's been out for a month. One of their big forwards is averaging about 12 points a game. He hasn't played since middle of February, but he's going to play in this game. So, but I'm still like, okay, why are we concerned about a Sun Belt team and a starter? This is not like it's a all-American type. It's a guy that's good in a weaker league. So I don't think it'd be something you should be overly concerned about or terrified if you're Nebraska.
All right, that's your nerves talking, saying that line is too big.
I'm nervous.
That's your nerves talking. Jake Sorensen's on, a couple more. I'll let him run. Who was the best in the Big Ten this year? Is that Michigan, or is Purdue somebody that could make a run here?
Well, it's still Michigan. They're the one seed. I do like.
We still have you? Maybe?
How good the Big Ten is, but I don't like Michigan State. I think they're going to get beat here first. Going to be someone that wins their first game, but I can see them having issues with Miami or Missouri in the second round. So Michigan certainly is a team that should make the Final Four based on their one seed, but as I said, you never know what happens. They have a loss to Purdue on their last game out.
Did you
it's
say,
going to be curious, but
you broke up. Did you say Michigan State might lose to North Dakota State?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say my brackets are always great, Nate, but I do have them losing that game to North Dakota State.
What?
Yep, it's one of my upset. Yep, you heard it here first.
All right. I'm going to let you hang up.
You don't like that pick?
No, I'm going to let you hang up, and I'll bet you on the side on that. That's how I feel about that. But okay. we'll just take it easy on that. By the way, who do you have winning it? I mean, I know probably not the Huskers. I hate to break it to everybody. Jake Sorensen, on your bracket, who is winning it?
I've got Duke, which is boring, but that's the only one seed I have. My only one seed. I have them beating, I believe, Iowa State in the finals. I have Illinois also in the final or the Final Four, and I believe Arkansas in my Final Four. I love Darius Acuff. I think he's a star. So
you kind of have
that's my Final Four.
Okay, some different teams in there, and you got my Dukies. I am a Duke fan, Jake. You just made my day.
Well, they're the number one overall seed. They should win it all, right? They should be the overall favorite to win. So I don't like to take the favorite, but I'm taking them this time.
Jake Sorensen's on tonight. He'll be on in the morning. Husker fans, listen to the show early break live from Oklahoma City as the Huskers play tomorrow. 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln. Jake, enjoy it, man. Thanks a lot.
You bet, Nate. Thanks so much.
Appreciate your time. Live from OKC, just getting there, ready to go. He'll be on tomorrow morning. Early break on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake Sorensen on tonight from Oklahoma City. He's got my Dukies. He acts like this is going to be easy. Let's not play those games. You guys Duke, I've watched a lot of Duke games. Very good, very strong, maybe even better than last year with Cooper Flagg and the crew. I mean, that's dangerous to say, but we got 2 injuries. Caleb Foster, big injury. Our post, big injury. So, Tafanga. And so, I think this is not great. Couple of guys down. That's not great. But the Dukies are good. They are good. Husker fan coming in on the text line. Am I a bad person for having the Huskers losing their first game on my bracket? Well, I think you are. I hate to tell you. Don't do that. Hey, I have an update. The Huskers will win. Remember how I predicted Kyler Murray to the Vikings? 100%. Tonight, Huskers win tomorrow. 100% chance. 100% chance. Now, the line, 12.5. Careful. Huskers win tomorrow. First tournament win in the history of the program. Book it. You heard that here first. And Jake Sorensen taking NDSU over Michigan State. Jake. This isn't, St. Thomas, big guy. This is Michigan State. This ain't St. Thomas, please. All right. Lister text, Arizona's winning the whole thing. I don't know about that. You know what Arizona likes doing? Kind of like Wisconsin. You ever heard that term, choke city? Choke city. Arizona, choke city. Wisconsin, choke city. So don't be careful about the Arizona thing. They're made in the shade to choke it. Let's make some high school picks. How about that? Some high school picks for the state boys basketball tournament. I'm going to take you into championships Saturday night. Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
It seems like the cost of everything is going up, so it's nice to save a little dough when you can, especially for something you love to eat every day. Before I go grocery shopping, I print out a coupon for $1 off any Country Hearth, Village Hearth, or Artisan Hearth bread product. My favorite is Dakota Style 12 grain. My wife's breakfast go-to is a toasted Village Hearth English muffin. We can save $1 on each. Go to countryhearthbreads.com/coupons and print 1 or 2 out before your next shopping trip. And don't forget, Country Hearth, Village Hearth, and Artisan Hearth bread products are baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
If you're on your feet all day, your shoes matter. At Trav's Outfitter, we carry work boots built for long days, tough jobs, and real conditions. From trusted brands like Ariat, Timberland Pro, and Brunt, you'll find comfort, durability, and support that you can count on. Whether you're on concrete, mud, or steel, the right boots make all the difference. Get fitted, get working. Visit us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 45. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, 79. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, 48. Lots of sunshine and dry Friday and Saturday, upper 70s. Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 73 degrees.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of magic and laughter at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort with David Anthony's Evening of Magic and Hypnosis. Join us April 11th for a high-energy show packed with jaw-dropping illusions and hilarious interactive hypnosis that puts audience volunteers in the spotlight. Doors open at 5:30 with showtime from 6 to 7:30. It's fast-paced fun and full of surprises. You won't want to miss it. Visit CadillacJacksGaming.com to get your tickets today and see how your night plays out.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold I-CAR certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live. Glad you're here. High Energy Wednesday. Tournament time tomorrow. March Madness. State basketball. We're rolling tonight. We got you covered. Kerry Miller broke down the bracket a little bit. He's got Arizona as his best team going. Kerry Miller with Bleacher Report on tonight. Jake Sorensen with the Husker 93.7 The Ticket Report from Oklahoma City. Huskers trying to get that win in the tournament. Face Troy tomorrow. Jake Sorensen's on tonight. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast if you miss any parts of the program. Every guest, every show on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got the podcast. More great guests coming up. We'll talk state basketball with Zach Borg on the way. Midwest Sports Plus, get his feel of the state boys layout. Sean Keeler's coming up from Denver, columnist for Denver Post. His reaction to the Broncos bringing in Jalen Waddle. What do they say in Denver? Sean Keeler never shy to give his opinion. He's coming up from the Denver Post. 605-720-1067 is our number. You want to text in? We got people giving us their Final Fours. Listener text, my Final Four is Duke, Florida, Arizona, Virginia. That's a listener text. Duke, Florida, Arizona, Virginia. Some heavy juice there. Heavy juice. Not bad, though. Not bad. It's going to be hard for me tonight. I haven't filled out my bracket. I got a blank right here. We do this tonight. And I'm feeling pretty good. I got a sense for I'm going to take all the way here, and it's going to be interesting as we lay this out. So give us your Final Four if you want to do that on the text line. Give me a read. What am I missing? 605-720-1067. It's time to get into the state basketball tournaments. You know, we talk South Dakota High School hoops. I've watched it. I want to see how it rolls. Let's go. State basketball predictions on the Nate Brown Show before we get started tomorrow. All right, let's go B-Boys. B-Boys. I know it's the quote-unquote best tournament in South Dakota, but I don't watch B as much. I don't know much about B, so take this for what it's worth. Not much. I'm just admitting I don't watch B as much. It's not a laugh track show. I'm just telling you, okay? Castlewood has been really, really good. Viborg Hurley has been really, really good. I like Shane Warwick. I think they got it going. I'm going to go Castlewood through the top of the bracket. I'm going to go Freeman. Freeman was 21-2. It's going to be dicey. I think Freeman plays DeSmet in that semifinal Friday night. I think it's going to be Freeman DeSmet. I'm going to go Freeman into the B title game. I will go Castlewood against Freeman in the B title game. And I'm going to go Castlewood to win the state Bs in Aberdeen. Okay? I don't know as much about B. Give me Castlewood. I've seen Viborg Hurley. They could be in there too. But I'm going to go Castlewood on top in B. Now, to Rapid City for the Class A boys. I am familiar with these teams, familiar with these coaches, been watching these games. Sioux Falls Christian is going to beat St. Thomas More in the first game tomorrow. And I don't know if it's going to be that tight. Sioux Falls Christian turning it up. They're turning it up right now. So Sioux Falls Christian's going to win tomorrow. They'll play Hamlin Friday night, the old rivalry rematch. They played the last couple of years. Hamlin not quite there like they have been. So give me Sioux Falls Christian. Boom Thursday, boom Friday. Not a surprise, right? Sioux Falls Christian to the title game in Class A. Down on the bottom, West Central wins tomorrow night. Undefeated, 23-0 after tomorrow night. Then, watch out, a tight one Friday night for Dave Hollenbeck and West Central against Clark Willow Lake, I believe. Friday night, it's tight. It is tight, but West Central survives barely. That's close Friday night. Watch it. Class A. Clark Willow Lake, solid. They don't get the upset, but it's close. So it is. West Central, Sioux Falls Christian, the State A championship. Can Sioux Falls Christian beat them this time? I've been told that Sioux Falls Christian, they just got down in that first game. They got down, so they couldn't quite come back, and they had an injury. And I think West Central is on a mission. I think Dave Hollenbeck, the story is going to be he leaves West River, he goes East River, and brings a title to West Central. I think that's going to be the story. It's going to be a great game Saturday night. I think it's going to be the clash. Sioux Falls Christian and West Central, two of the best teams in all classes. Saturday night at the Monument Summit Arena. I'm going to go West Central. It is tough to go against Sioux Falls Christian, but I think West Central finishes an undefeated season. They're just that good and balanced. The defense has been the difference for West Central. They have talent. The defense has been the difference. AA boys prediction on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Some people are telling me T's going to win tomorrow in that first game. Who are these people? It's Sioux Falls Lincoln tomorrow. I know T. Area has done a good job. Good job. This is Sioux Falls Lincoln here. So they've had close games. I get it. Sioux Falls Lincoln wins the first game tomorrow. Okay? Book that. Then I think it's a Harrisburg Sioux Falls Lincoln Friday night matchup. And I'm going to take the Patriots kind of coasting into Saturday night. Sioux Falls Lincoln, it's close for a while tomorrow, and then they take care of Harrisburg Friday night. Lincoln to the championship, not a surprise. On the bottom, AA. Huron's going to make it into the semis. Huron's going to make it to the semis. People think Huron's one of the best teams. They could go all the way. Not quite to me. Roosevelt is the team I'm watching in the bottom. Roosevelt has been in the mix. They've been very competitive with Lincoln even. Roosevelt's going to win tomorrow. Roosevelt's going to win Friday over Huron in the semis. Roosevelt and Lincoln and all Sioux Falls state championship. Gimme Lincoln. I hate to be so undramatic. Sioux Falls Lincoln, undefeated all the way, AA title. West Central, undefeated all the way, Class A title. Those are the ones I think I know about. Book it. State tournament starts tomorrow. Excited about it. Coming right back into the second hour. It's a Wednesday with 5 questions from Chris coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Andersen. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient Acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Treatment. Get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
We are live on South Dakota Sports Talk Show on a Wednesday. We're off tomorrow with state basketball coverage. Yes, we cover the state basketball tournament live on radio. We still believe in that. I think it's valuable. I think it's important. And I know people want to listen to that stuff. And I threw it out because there's the Sioux Falls Metro doesn't have any radio play-by-play of the state basketball tournament. It's the first time we've seen that. First time, and I understand that the video stepped in, the streaming stepped in, and I feel like radio companies have stepped back, not realizing, man, play-by-play is still out there. It's still there if you do it right. So we're going to be covering it tomorrow, state boys basketball. I have a question of the day since Sioux Falls Metro is not going to have radio play-by-play of any of the Sioux Falls Metro teams. Do you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play? Do you still have an interest of listening to radio play-by-play? And I always find this interesting. Like, I think everybody thinks, oh, well, yeah, there's, I think it's just all about video and streaming. It's all you should do now. Well, you can do that too. But I believe the play-by-play aspect's still important for people in their car. They're running errands. They're going here and there. There's people that listen to Jackrabbit games when they're busy on a Saturday. I mean, they listen to that Tyler Merriam all the time. There's people that listen to Vikings games. You guys know this, Paul Allen and the Vikings all the time on Sundays. There's people that listen to Dave Logan of the Broncos all the time. So I always wonder some of the companies that think, well, I guess we're not going to do that anymore. It's like there's massive brands that have radio play-by-play, yet for the first time, Sioux Falls Metro, no radio play-by-play of the AA girls last week or the AA boys this week. Our question of the day tonight, if you're just getting in your car, text us if you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play. And I understand the video and the streaming has been good. I really do, but I still think the radio play-by-play is valuable. Very, very valuable. And if it's done well, it's really, really good. I mean, there's some slapstick guys, no doubt. I mean, there's just some bad stuff, but there's some really good broadcasters. I used to go to all these state tournaments. Man, we used to be lined up. So many play-by-play guys that were really, really good and brings back great memories covering state championships and the drama and the intrigue, and you paint the picture and the description and the passion. And now all of a sudden we're going to enter a time where it's like, hey, I want to listen to this Sioux Falls-Lincoln T area game tomorrow. You're driving around the Sioux Falls Metro. It's not on. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Do you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play? I know we're in a new world. We are in a new world. And this show is a radio show. I started out this way. Yes, we stream. We stream audio. We stream video. We're on social media. We're on an app. We're on YouTube. You got to do all that, too. I'm not poo-pooing it. But just to not have radio play-by-play and just kind of not fill that gap, I think that's a big miss. I think it's a big miss. Do you still have interest in radio play-by-play of South Dakota high school sports? Let's see here. What's my poll question say? 60% of people say yes. 60% of you say yes, you listen to radio play-by-play. Still, of South Dakota high school basketball, for example, 40% of you say no, I just watched the video. 60-40 tonight. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. Thanks for taking my call. I do have to say one of the coolest things about, like, when I moved to Rapid City was, like, finding your radio station to, like, I listen to it, like, going back and forth to work, like, and sometimes I come home late and I listen to those basketball games or baseball games, the Plus 22 games on, and I mean, I know I'm kind of a relic probably with that, but I love to listen to local sports.
Okay, so I understand it, and I still think it's good, man. It's like you got Broncos, you got Vikings, you telling me radio play-by-play is not valuable? I don't buy that.
No, I agree with you, and I think, like, I mean, it's fun to go watch a game and listen to the people call the games there, too. Like, I mean, it's just, I think that's going to be something that's going to be missing for future generations.
I do wonder that, too, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate you. No, I do wonder that. So my audience here, 60% of you, I'm just looking at our update on our poll question today. Do you still have an interest in listening to radio play-by-play? And I made it of South Dakota high school basketball because for the first time since I've been doing this, there's no play-by-play of state basketball in the Sioux Falls Metro. I can't say the same about Rapid City. We got it covered, and I'm always going to invest in that. I honestly believe in that. I mean, when there's a day game, like St. Thomas More's playing tomorrow afternoon, are you telling me nobody is going to be, tuning in, listening when they're running here, going there, working here, you're in the car, you're in the garage, you're doing whatever? Of course you are. And I'm not telling you have to listen to all 2 hours of every word of a game, but you got to have that service. And if it's done well, it's very valuable to the public in supporting South Dakota high school basketball and our schools and our teams. Got to have play-by-play, guys. Got to have it. I will always have it as long as I'm running the show. Let's see here. Listener text, absolutely have to have it on the radio. I always listen to NFL games, NCAA basketball as well. I watch the video feed sometimes. Radio announcers so much better at calling the game. Let's see. Listener text, I feel bad for those parents of players that can't make it to the games. Maybe they're working. Would have been nice to listen on the radio in Sioux Falls. Listener text, yes, keep sports on the radio. Another listener text, I still listen on the radio when out hunting or driving or in the garage working on stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. 60% of my audience on Twitter, I don't know how old people are on Twitter, but 60% say you got to have radio play-by-play of South Dakota high school basketball. 40% say, no, I just go to the video stream. Okay, it's Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show. Let's get rolling here.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
5 questions from Chris. Loyal listener Chris. Here we go, man. Question number 1. Major League Baseball opening day is a week away. First game of the season, Wednesday, the 25th. Yankees take on the Giants. Netflix will be streaming the game first pitch. Is Major League Baseball making a mistake by having a streaming platform showcase its first game of the season rather than NBC or Fox? Well, I think they are, Chris, but this kind of goes to what we're just saying. Everything's cooler, everything's better, everything's streaming, everything's this. Oh, it's easier, it's cheaper, just do it, streaming. And now we have to get this service and that service. And I know everybody and their mother has Netflix, that's fine. But it's the same thing with this radio thing. We used to have all these games on the radio, and you have access, so you could listen to the games, and it was all good. And now it's, well, you got video, you got streaming, you got to do this, you got to download that. Same story here. Major League Baseball opening day should be a TV thing. That should be a TV thing, not, I got to go into Netflix to watch the Yankees. Come on. I mean, I know why they do it. It's the same thing. It's the money play. So nobody's going to whine or anything, but opening day, opening game on Netflix, yeah? That's just where we're at. Question number 2. Nate, since we both love baseball, you're a Cub fan. I'm a Tiger fan. Most fans, though, think the Dodgers will already be the team in the World Series. Is that good for baseball that there's a team like the Dodgers to root against? I think that is good. I know people say it's all the money and they got all the players and they already have all the advantages, and so why do these other teams even show up? Why do the mid-market teams even show up, like the Twins and all that stuff in the AL? But I still think it's good, like the Dodgers winning back-to-back. I'm rooting against the Dodgers. That's always good to me. An interesting team to root against. You need a little urgency in baseball because there's so many games. I'll root against the Dodgers. I'm good with that. If they're a favorite, I'm good with that. Question number 3. March Madness starts tomorrow. Estimated $3.3 billion will be wagered on the games. That's more than the $2 billion wagered on the Super Bowl. Why do you think more money is wagered on college basketball games than the Super Bowl? Well, I think one is you have the one game. I know it's a massive audience, Chris, but you got the one game. Then you got all these props and stuff. The basketball thing just keeps going and going. So I bet on sports. BetMGM Sportsbook live. Tin Lizzy. It's going to be great. There's a little slip in there. Okay, it's going to be great. I love that place. So many games. I even have to here's my budget. Wow, there's this game. There's that game. I mean, you could just go nuts. You got to watch it. So that's why, Chris, it's so many games, so much interest. You can just bet on all of these games, and it goes for a few weeks. So I think that's the deal. It's not like, the massive audience of the Super Bowl. It's a one-day thing. That's it. March Madness keeps going and going. Highest bets in sports. Question number 4. Do you think the tournament will go all favorites into the Final Four? Or could we see a team outside of a 3rd seed make it to the Final Four? I haven't filled out my bracket yet, Chris. I'm going to do that tonight, and I'll post it. I'll post it to hold me accountable, okay? But I've been looking at it. I don't think outside of a 3 seed makes it to the Final Four. You asked me outside of a 3 seed, could you make it to the Final Four? And that is a no. It'll be 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3, all Final Four slots. Question number 5. If money and time weren't an issue, what would be your dream event to attend in sports? The Broncos in the Super Bowl? Cubs in a World Series Game 7? Or Duke Blue Devils? I'm going to put it this way. I want to go to a Duke home game. My premier event would be Duke home game rivalry, North Carolina. And I know that's not Super Bowl. I know that's not Game 7. It's something very, very special. I've been a Duke fan for a long, long time. Something unique, Chris. It would be a Duke Hammered Indoor Stadium rivalry, North Carolina. Can I make that happen? That would be the one. You got me at the right time of year. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Zach Borg is on tonight. Sioux Falls broadcaster talking state basketball. I've made my picks. Who's going to win it? I'm going to ask him his read on state boys basketball coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles with loans as unique as them. Trucks, cars, SUVs, we finance them all with local service and rates starting as low as 4.99% APR. That's right, 4.99%. Keep your loan local and find the one that fits you at bhfcu.com. Apply today online or text 605-718-1818 to get started. Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member-owned and insured by NCUA.
Save big on everything at Menards. We're your destination for everything electrical. Whether you're trying to create the perfect ambience with a stylish new dimmer or seeking the right USB outlet to charge your mobile devices, Menards carries a wide selection of dimmers, switches, and outlets from Legrand to fit your everyday needs. Save big money on products from Legrand at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Finding the right gear starts with finding the right people. At Trav's Outfitter, we take the time to get to know you, to understand the work you do, and help you find the gear that fits that work. We're here to earn your trust one visit at a time. Because when you work hard, where you shop should work just as hard for you. Visit us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 45. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, 79. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, 48. Lots of sunshine and dry Friday and Saturday, upper 70s. Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 70.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Who is it?
You're Prince Charming.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I've been calling to you, Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your golden hair for days.
I didn't hear you. The witch got the tower new replacement windows from Renewal by Andersen.
Didn't you wonder where I was?
Not really. My new windows are very energy efficient, keeping my tower very comfortable, and they have greatly reduced the noise levels.
What noise? You live in a forest.
Well, a certain needy prince is constantly yelling my name.
Do you not love me anymore?
Oh, quit being so dramatic.
Dramatic? Moi?
Yes, and Renewal by Andersen exclusively offers gorgeous ensemble security doors, safe and durable.
Do they?
You should get them for the castle along with new Acclaim replacement windows.
If I do, will you marry me?
Let's not rush it. And Prince Charming, get the windows for you, not me.
Oh, wait. Windows. For me?
Does your castle need new windows? Discover Acclaim windows and ensemble entry doors, custom fit and exclusive to Renewal by Andersen. Free consultations. Visit RBARapidCity.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports.
Back again. Welcome back to the Nate Brown Show live. Fox Sports Radio across the state, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union. I want you to know being a member at Black Hills Federal Credit Union has been the right choice for me and my family. I'm telling you, we switched over there, and the rates are outstanding. The service is outstanding. Technology is great. I got the mobile banking app. It's really, really good. Get a bank that works for you. From rates to service, personal to business banking. I'm telling you, make the switch. If you haven't had a great experience, go to Black Hills Federal Credit Union, 18 locations across the state. From the Black Hills to Sioux Falls, BHFCU.com. Start there. Become a member like me and my family. It's really good. Bank that helps you out in a lot of ways. BHFCU.com is where you want to go. Zach Borg's on tonight. He's covered a lot of high school basketball, so I thought, well, let's get Borg on tonight. Break down the state boys basketball tournaments. He's with Midwest Sports Plus. He's on X at Iceborg. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm not a little weird not to have a state tournament out in Sioux Falls. I know we've talked about that before, but a little quieter out here. Obviously, I'm not making the trip out to Rapid. I'm sure one of these years I'll get out there, but it's just a little strange.
Seems
to be out in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
It's like there's a party going on, but we're not invited this year.
That is interesting. That's a good feel. It's like, wow. So I've been to the state basketball tournament every year for the last 26 years. And I think about that. It's like a tradition for me. It's like, man, I love going to the state tournaments this time of year. And now you're out there going, wait, I guess we'll just be watching it and going that route. So that's interesting. Let me get into this really quick. I made my picks. So I actually made my picks tonight. I know A and AA way better than B. But I do want to go to the B tournament in Aberdeen. Have you got a sense for anybody in B, Viborg, Hurley, Castlewood, DeSmet? What do you feel like is going to go on at B?
I think that one's about as wide open as it gets. I'm kind of leaning a little toward Castlewood because obviously they have the experience as a defending champion, but that Viborg Hurley team is really good. I don't know. I mean, a year ago when I was up there, I mean, Castlewood, that was kind of a Dunk City kind of team that they had. I know they've lost a couple people off that team, but that's always the craziest atmosphere. And I know there's I moved firmly in the last 13 years from the camp of, someday we need to have all the tournaments at one site to, it's fine up in Aberdeen. It's a crazy atmosphere, and you just never know what's going to happen on championship night. But I'm kind of leaning maybe a little toward Castlewood right now just because they have that experience. It really wouldn't shock me if anybody rose up into, it could be a lower seed that ends up rising up and taking that thing. It really, nothing shocks you at the B.
It is hard to determine. I mean, the teams that get there are really, really good because it's Class B. There's no easy street there. So I went Castlewood, and I went Castlewood over Freeman. Some people think DeSmet can make that run, and maybe. I'm going to go Castlewood over Freeman in the State B title. I don't know as much about Class B boys basketball. Let's go to Rapid City. You just said it. Both tournaments are here, AA and A. Here's my complaint. Only one tonight. No staggered start times. And I don't know if anybody just even thought of that. It's like, I'm going to go to the games tomorrow. Yes, I want to watch Lincoln and T. I want to watch that, but I want to watch Christian and St. Thomas more. And you have to choose. I just wonder if they realize, hey, maybe some basketball fans would pop back and forth if it was 30 minutes staggered start time, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. Frankly, I'm a little surprised we're having. I mean, again, this is kind of you have to excuse my dog there. You have to. I'm a little surprised they're doing this again because I know it wasn't particularly popular in past iterations when we've had combined tournaments, but obviously there's it's a little bit of a necessary evil because Sioux Falls is a little busy right now with other tournaments. Yeah, I don't understand why we're not doing the staggered start times with it. And imagine if this had been West Central and St. Thomas More playing as we kind of thought it was going to be before the little seeding switcheroo. I would have done that as well. But, I'm guessing maybe this is some kind of crowd control measure, although I don't know how that possibly works. I don't know. I hate to be too critical of the SDHSAA. They got a lot to manage on their plate this week, so they obviously feel like they've got to do it. They've got to do it this way. Hopefully they've got a better set of plan for the championships in the final day. But
I was just wondering.
It is a bit of a bummer.
I don't know if anybody threw that out there, and I just started thinking. People were asking me, "Hey, are these games going to be at the same time in the same facility?" And yeah, they are. So that's a classic one. You got two number one seeds playing tomorrow, Christian and Sioux Falls Lincoln, and you have to pick which one you're going to watch. By the way,
I know the volleyball used to be kind of fun. Volleyball, when you have them on the same court, is always kind of fun to look at the same time. But I don't know how that works with basketball. I know volleyball, when you watch it state, when there's like three courts going on at once, can be kind of interesting. You get triple your buck, but I don't know how it's going to work for hoops.
Yeah, I don't think you can get back and forth. You'd have to watch first half over in the Ice Arena. You have to watch the second half of another game over in the Summit Arena. I want to go into that Class A boys tournament. You just did a story on Midwest Sports Plus. I watched that today. It was really good on West Central and Dave Hollenbeck. I take West Central. I think they're going to face a tight game Friday night. I think that's going to be Clark Willow Lake, and I think it's going to be really tight. Maybe people are overlooking that. I think West Central has enough to do it. What's your perspective after seeing that program?
I'm impressed at how quickly they've kind of bought into everything that Dave Hollenbeck has brought over from West River. And you look back last year, they were pretty good. They weren't that bad defensively either. But I mentioned in the story the numbers. They're allowing 4 fewer points a game. They're scoring 4 more. And really, since the moment they all kind of singled where they all came together was the win at Sioux Falls Christian, and they only gave up 55 points in that game. The most they've given up all year was 75, and I think that was their second or third game against Vermilion, who tends to score a lot anyway. This team they've really adopted his style, and you forget that it was pretty much the same exact team from the previous season, and that's pretty remarkable. You just never know. But I think they all knew when he came over that, okay, this is he commands your respect. I mean, he's going to work. They knew he was going to work him hard, but 4 championship rings and all the state tournament appearances, it commanded their respect. So you're right. I think it's a tougher draw in the second round, potentially, assuming they get past Cheyenne Eagle Butte tomorrow. But I think they will be able to do that. And I think maybe I think talking a little bit with Dave, I think he kind of prefers this because obviously if it had been St. Thomas More, there would have been a little bit more of a sideshow about playing his former program. I think he doesn't necessarily mind that distraction. But they definitely have the guns. I mean, this is such a deep team. I kind of focused a lot more on Connor Mebius and Will Cool, but they have another big guy in Colt Gary. They're really stacked. And if we get that 1 versus 2 matchup with Sioux Falls Christian again, that would be a dynamite title game.
I think it's going to happen. I mean, those two have been really, really good. I think 2 of the best teams in all classes. Some people think these 2 are really good if you put them in AA. So Christian and West Central, I have that as the title game. I'm taking West Central to hang on and win. I think people would think, oh, you're crazy. Christian's going to beat them. You can't beat them twice. I'm going to go West Central and Dave Hollenbeck. Let's go to AA boys. Zach Borg's on tonight, Midwest Sports Plus. AA boys, I've seen people think T can beat Sioux Falls Lincoln in the first game tomorrow. I'm not one of them. What do you say?
T's been an up-and-down team. They played some of the more interesting games of the year. Obviously, they played Lincoln to a 2-point game earlier in the season, but they really struggled down the stretch to the point where they had to go on the road to Spearfish as the 9 seed, and obviously they won that game. If they get hot, they're starting. I mean, they've got a really good starting 5, and I think next year they're a team that could potentially be a prime contender, maybe a favorite to win the title. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Again, beyond that starting 5, I don't know if they have enough depth to go with Lincoln. Lincoln is under that starting 5 for Lincoln is really good, but they do have some really good players that can come off the bench. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they can recreate what kept them in that game earlier. So I just don't know. I mean, we've seen kind of 2 different T area teams. One was really good in the first half, but down the stretch they struggled. You never know, though. I mean, there's a lot of parity this year. O'Gorman played Lincoln pretty close. I mean, Harrisburg has had some moments this year. Obviously, Huron's there. Brandon Valley got kind of hot down the stretch. It feels like it is Lincoln's title to lose, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if one of even though Roosevelt's the 2 seed, ironically, Roosevelt's the 2 seed, and they didn't match up well at all with Lincoln in the regular season. So it does feel like it's Lincoln's title to lose, but on any given day, if someone plays really well, they could possibly beat them. We saw that last year with Mitchell.
How about the bottom side of the AA bracket? I've got Lincoln going out of the top half. I do all the way to the title. The bottom side of the bracket's kind of packed there. O'Gorman, Huron, Roosevelt, and I guess Brandon Valley even on a day where they can play physical and just get after you. The bottom side of the bracket's a toss-up to me. I think Roosevelt can come out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still really like Huron. They've got a lot of. I mean, obviously you got Blake Elwine, one of the top players, and his brother's also really underrated. Good. The Porish kids are pretty good. Huron, I really like them. They've got a lot of size, and you can't underestimate O'Gorman. I mean, they don't have the most size. They don't have the most of. They don't necessarily have the most tools, quote unquote. But man, they're a scrappy team. I mean, ever since Roby announced that he's going to step away at the end of the season, they just kind of find a way to be in games. I mean, they nearly knocked off Lincoln earlier in the year. So I don't think it would surprise anyone if they somehow find their way into that final game. It's completely up for grabs on the bottom end. I'm gonna go with Huron just because I really.
You are.
I'll go with Huron because I really do like the Elwines and some of their size, and I don't know how well they match up with Lincoln because I saw that game earlier and Lincoln won pretty handily. But full disclosure, I think any of the teams in the bottom half of the bracket, any of those 4, could end up coming out of that and making it to. And I think it'll be Lincoln too. I think any of those 4 could come out of there and be facing them on Championship Saturday.
I got Roosevelt winning tomorrow night. I got Huron winning tomorrow night, and then I got Roosevelt beating Huron in the semis. I got Roosevelt-Lincoln, the AA boys title game, and I am taking Lincoln. So I'm going heavy undefeated teams. Lincoln undefeated to win it all. West Central undefeated to win it all. Zach Borg in tonight. Midwest Sports Plus. If you haven't checked out his story on West Central, it's up there right now. Find him on X at Iceborg. Zach, enjoy the week, man. I appreciate you hopping on.
I will, thank you. And I'm also, my pick would be West Central, so Sioux Falls Christian people can be upset with me at the end of the day.
All right.
You take it easy too, Nate.
I like it. Appreciate it. Zach Borg on tonight. He makes his picks. I want that. I like that, Zach. Way to play. Midwest Sports Plus, Sioux Falls broadcaster covering the games all season long. It's tough to pick against Sioux Falls Christian, but I'm doing it. I'm going to go Dave Hollenbeck with just a little bit of the edge. And his players are really solid. Great guard play, great post play. Their posts, cool, can hit threes. I mean, they got good players. They have good players. So I'm going West Central to win the A, Lincoln to win the AA, Castlewood to win the B. All right, let's jump to the NFL. A lot of South Dakota sports talk tonight. I want to go to the reaction from Denver in the big move yesterday. Broncos pick up Jalen Waddle. I think he's the number one wide receiver automatically right now. Sean Keeler's a columnist for the Denver Post. What's his take on what this does to the Broncos after a 14-3 season? Keeler's coming up from Denver.
This is South Dakota's sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Andersen. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient Acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. We are live on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across South Dakota, KWSN Sioux Falls, Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. The Nate Brown Show with Sean Keeler in tonight. He's never not opinionated, and that's what we like. He has an opinion. And he just wrote a piece on the Broncos picking up Jalen Waddle yesterday. DenverPost.com. Columnist for the Denver Post. What Sean have to say about the Broncos getting Jalen Waddle? Sean, welcome in. How are you?
I'm great. How are you in the lovely Dakotas, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. And I said yesterday, as a Broncos fan, I thought this was a great move. I know people are saying, well, you're going to have to worry about paying him later maybe, but to me, the Broncos are trying to win right now. Bo Nix has a couple of years left on this deal. What do you think of the Jalen Waddle move?
I'm with you. It's not even so much the player, because you could make the same argument for A.J. Brown or a frontline tight end. It's about going for it now. It's about going for it. It's about four words that have stuck in my mind in the Broncos offseason that they're going to have to deal with going into next year. That is close games, and the record they had in them, and rookie contract, as in, to your point, Bo Nix is really, really cost-effective. You're out from under the Russell Wilson cap hell, and let's be realistic. If Bo Nix does the things that it looks like he's going to do, in 2 years you're going back into cap hell, because that's how this goes. Whether you're Joe Burrow or Mahomes, now Nix, you're going to have a $30 million, $40 million quarterback soon. And right now you have a single-digit, $6, $7, $8 million one now.
Yeah.
Well, you have one now. You have the freedom to go spend on other things, and the luxury to go get some skill guys on either side of the ball, and so they went out and did that. They were a win-now team that needs to be in win-now mode, that just made a win-now move. So hats off. That's what you're supposed to do.
So I'm big on, like, you got to get great players. That's what it's about. But I also want good guys that will lead, and that's why I like Courtland Sutton, even though people think, oh, Courtland's maybe not a number one. He's a leader. He's a competitor. He's a hard worker. Jalen Waddle, to me, is I'm choosing him over a more talented A.J. Brown because of all the other stuff. Is that a no-brainer to you or not?
No, it is to me, too. I think that chemistry thing, when the Broncos didn't do much for Wave 1, well, didn't do anything, for Wave 1 of free agency last week, as you know, there's a narrative of, oh, no, and panic, and you had some people I respect inside the business, both in football and in media, saying, hey, wait a minute. One, you're 14-3. Yeah, again, the close games, that's going to be hard to replicate. But two, you got really good chemistry, and they do. And to your point, someone like Sutton has set the tone as much in that locker room as he has on the field. On the field, well, Courtland Sutton is not a great fantasy wide receiver one. He's a good player. He's a very good player. But he has been really, really good for Sean Payton and what Sean Payton wants. And we've talked about this on air, too. I think whatever you think of Sean Payton, the floor is really high. He has expectations that can be a little crazy if you're his quarterback. Again, that's why it's great that Davis Webb is here to kind of bridge that with Bo Nix. But he values leadership guys, and he values guys that set the tone. And I think A.J. Brown would have been a bridge too far on the me-first front, to your point. But I think they wanted somebody like that without the drama llama, and then by all indications they've got one of Pat Surtain's best friends back. I mean, Here we go.
Yeah, that is a connection. Sean Keeler's on from Denver, columnist for the Denver Post. His piece is up on Jalen Waddle coming to the Broncos. Do you think, Sean, that Jalen Waddle's the number one wide receiver? Is it close with Sutton? I put him at number one, but I think Sutton's 1A.
I was going to say, do you like 1A, 1B? Is it like the Avs goaltending situation? Hopefully better than it was on Monday night. And we'll find out in a few hours how that works out for them in a big game against the Stars. But, yeah, it's kind of a 1A, 1B. And, I mean, I joked with somebody else on a show today about, I said, I think the only people really upset about this, besides Chiefs and Chargers and Bills fans, and that's a good sign of any. They look at that and go, "Oh no!" Like that's what you want is the rest of the AFC to go, "Oh great, they did something." If you're a fantasy owner who has Cortland Sutton or Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims, this might not be great for you because they're going to be spreading some balls around, and it is going to look a little different. But that isn't how the game is really played. It's about upgrading your weakest position, one of the weaker position groups you've got moving forward, and anticipating, back to the close games thing, that you might have to beat some teams 35-30. You might have some more of those Giants games and less of those Texans 18-15 games. You know what I mean? Like you have to account for that. That it's not luck. The Broncos made a lot of their own luck last year, and then they suffered for it. The losing Knicks for that championship game was bad luck, as much as not having a running game, and that's something else I still think they need to address more if it were me in the draft and whenever they can find post-draft. But, yeah, you need to – the chemistry matters to a point. The character matters to a point. But a guy who's been a solid 60-catch, 900-yard receiver with some questionable – like, how many guys have thrown Jalen Waddle the ball in his NFL career?
Right.
5?
Right.
Like, a lot. And if you get Knicks healthy – I like Tua more than the average Bear, but I think Knicks at his peak is going to have a higher upside than what Tua's had in Miami, even when healthy. So he's going to have the best guy ever throwing to him, and certainly one of the better. I don't know if this is the best skill group he's going to have, but it's certainly the best locker room that he's walking into. So, yeah, it's a good fit.
Is the draft pick compensation too much for you, first rounder, third rounder, fourth rounder?
No, because who are you going to get at 30 and at 90 that are going to have the impact for you that this guy is in these 2 years?
Right.
Assuming you renegotiate the second year, or the third year beyond, because it's basically a guaranteed money. It's 2 years for 41. It's a lot, but they have the room now. Like, we're out from under the rust thing. So, no, again, saying this to you, Broncos media, to a Broncos fan, are you going for this or not? Like,
yeah.
This is it. You are in that Bills-Chiefs window of 7-8 years ago, and the Chiefs are kind of on the downside of that, and they've certainly maximized it, and they want to extend it. And the Bills have not maximized it as well, and they're starting to worry that they've already cost them a coach. That then you get to the end of that, right? You know, these eras are marked by good QBs, and you're now coming into hopefully the peak of yours, assuming his ankle and his health are okay, and the development curve continues to follow the path that it is. So no, you need to put those chips in now, and they did.
Sean Keeler in tonight on the Nate Brown Show in South Dakota. Follow his work at denverpost.com. Sean, enjoy the week, man. Thanks a lot.
You too. Take care up there. See you.
Appreciate it. Sean Keeler in tonight with a reaction. His column is up. denverpost.com. He's a big fan of getting Jalen Waddle, and I'm on that train as well for the Broncos. Broncos pick up Jalen Waddle. Cleared his physical today. You got to make sure you clear that. Who's hot and who's not? Wrapping up the Nate Brown Show. Hey, a South Dakota State basketball. Who's hot in Rapid City? They're making a little change coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Your sandwich is trying to tell you something. It's saying,
I deserve the best bread.
Enter Country Hearth Multigrain. Soft slices, classic taste, built for stacking. From grilled cheese greatness to next level lunchbox legends. Country Hearth doesn't steal the spotlight, it makes everything in between shine brighter. Listen to your sandwich. Choose Country Hearth Bread.
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a low of 45. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, 79. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, 48. Lots of sunshine and dry Friday and Saturday, upper 70s. Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 70.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of magic and laughter at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort with David Anthony's Evening of Magic and Hypnosis. Join us April 11th for a high-energy show packed with jaw-dropping illusions and hilarious interactive hypnosis that puts audience volunteers in the spotlight. Doors open at 5:30 with showtime from 6 to 7:30. It's fast-paced fun and full of surprises. You won't want to miss it. Visit CadillacJacksGaming.com to get your tickets today and see how your night plays out.
At Highmark Credit Union, we believe banking should feel personal. That's why when you walk into our lobbies, you'll be greeted by real tellers and friendly staff, ready to help with your questions, big or small. And yes, we've got the latest technology too, for when you want quick and convenient service. The best part? You get to choose. Highmark Credit Union. Personal service backed by modern technology. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Doesn't matter where your ride's from. At Al's D&I, we baby them, every single one. Got a ride from across the pond? No worries. Let the ASE certified pros at Al's D&I pamper your pride and joy. Foreign or domestic, maintenance or repair. Doesn't matter if it requires special parts or tools or if its owner's manual is in another language. At Al's D&I, we don't care where your ride's from, but we do take great care to treat your ride like it is our own. Drive on in to Al's D&I, Sturgis Road, and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, glad you're here, The Nate Brown Show. Hope you had a great week. It's basketball time tomorrow. We'll be covering the state tournament. So the show's off tomorrow, but enjoy March Madness, enjoy state basketball. It's Who's Hot and Who's Not on The Nate Brown Show, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Locations at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Great Pizza Ranch locations, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Bring your family and enjoy the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. In our Who's Hot category, a big change. Hey, this is good. The ice arena at the Monument has put in bleachers behind the hoops, down on the floor. They didn't do that before. They got the bleachers behind the hoops for the students, I guess. So, rowdy, raucous, have some fun, have some respect. But we got bleachers behind the hoops, how it should be, not the students up in the stands. Put them down on the floor behind the hoops. So, Monument, AA Tournament, Ice Arena tomorrow, students behind the hoops. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, we just saw this afternoon. The NFL is negotiating with the officials for this next season. So, they're thinking about a backup plan of replacement referees. Whenever I hear replacement referees, you automatically think, oh, boy. And you guys think the refs are bad now. And everybody complains about the officiating now. Can you imagine if we don't have the real refs? I might have to sign up. How about me? I'd throw me out there. So NFL's negotiating a new deal with the NFL referees. You would think they'd get it done. I don't know exactly what they want, but the NFL is exploring replacement refs for this next season. Let's hope not. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show, the podcast going up right now. Enjoy March Madness. I'll get my bracket filled out. Good luck. Let's get going and enjoy state basketball. See ya.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than